Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It's Tuesday, November 14th, 2023. Here's what's happening today in America. 5 Americans identified. Carjacking in Georgetown. Trump's sister passed away. And still no suspects. We'll cover all that coming up. Then Bill's going to be here with your message of the day. But first, the 5 service members who were killed when their helicopter crashed in the Mediterranean Sea have been identified. Personally, I find it frustrating that this is not getting enough news attention, which is why we're sure to cover it here. The Department of Defense says the MH-16 Black Hawk was conducting aerial refueling training when the aircraft experienced an in-flight emergency resulting in the crash. The 5 Army Special Operations soldiers are from Clarksville, Tennessee, Sacramento, California, Gorham, New Hampshire, Apache Junction, Arizona, and Mankato, Minnesota. Please take some time to think about their service and their family's pain today. A Secret Service agent who was tasked with protecting Joe Biden's granddaughter, Naomi Biden, opened fire in Georgetown after 3 people tried to carjack him. It was an unmarked car, so no reason to believe these carjackers knew it was the president's granddaughter. Bad luck for them. There's been a 250% increase in carjackings in D.C. in the last 5 years. 750 reported carjackings reported this year, and 75% of them involve guns. Just last month, a Democratic congressman from Texas was carjacked in D.C. at gunpoint outside of his apartment. Donald Trump's oldest sister passed away at the age of 86. Marianne Trump Berry. She was a former federal judge, passed away in her Manhattan home. Trump Berry was selected by President Reagan to serve on the federal district court in New Jersey in 1983, went on to serve in the Third Court of Appeals after a nomination from Bill Clinton. She worked into her 80s, retiring just in 2019. The first photo of the bag of cocaine that was found in the White House, remember that story? First photo has been released. They've been able to narrow it down to 500 suspects, but the investigation was closed down within 2 weeks due to lack of evidence. Also, we'll apparently never know the person who works at the Supreme Court who leaked that Roe v. Wade overturning decision either. Very hard to solve crime in D.C., apparently. I'm Mike Slater from the podcast Politics by Faith. Bill O'Reilly with your message of the day. Next.
Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. On this Tuesday, at this point in history, President Biden has lost control of the executive process, and that is not likely to improve. 2 vivid examples make the case, which is indisputable. The open border has placed an enormous financial burden on cities and states, and now thousands more migrants are marching toward Texas. In addition, the millions coming into the USA with no supervision present a security nightmare. Now, Mr. Biden could suspend all asylum requests, something most responsible presidents would do. He refuses. He will not even attempt to solve the border problem. The second situation may very well end in the president's impeachment in the House of Representatives. There is no question that Hunter and Jim Biden sold influence to foreign concerns using Joe Biden's name. Again, this is beyond any reasonable doubt. Yet the president denies any impropriety and will not even acknowledge the scheme. History will not be kind to Joe Biden. To me, the president is delusional, deeply out of touch with reality. And America is suffering because of that. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. All right, let's go to the mail. Bill and Sylvia Sales, Carson City, Nevada, the capital of the state. Bill, say it isn't so. The Biden administration wants to allow Palestinians into our country? No, it isn't so. So I know, and it hurts me personally, about this internet stuff that you guys are hearing all the time. You know, concierge members, they send me mail, and so do you, premium members. I mean, or anybody can send Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, but the concierge members are on, what about this, what about that? It's insane. So there's no policy of us relocating Palestinians to the United States. None. That would have been front page news. Now, in a few circumstances, if there's a humane thing like a baby who needs surgery or something, but this kind of stuff is just so destructive and people believe it. But I'm glad you checked with me. All right. Tony Stope, Waterloo, Nebraska. Could Joe Manchin's announcement of retirement make him a viable last-minute replacement for Biden? No, because Manchin has no far-left constituency. The reason he's not running again in West Virginia is, A, he probably lose because he voted for too many Biden programs. So the West Virginian, that's a red state. So Manchin knew he'd probably lose. And two, he's a moderate Democrat, and there are only like 6 of them left. So the Democratic Party doesn't want the Manchins, they want the Newsoms. So, but I think he might run as a third-party candidate. I don't know if it's going to be this cycle. He is 76 years old. It's possible. He wouldn't win, but he'd hurt, I think, Biden if he ran. In a moment, something you might not know. If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or have no warranty at all, listen up. Car Shield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that's now available to the public. Save on out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. So please call Car Shield now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. 800-925-7584 for a free quote. This protection plan is at an all-time low in price. Drivers who activate the vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. So please call for your free quote, 800-925-7584, 800-925-7584. Hey, what do you have to lose? 800-925-7584. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 10 years ago today, an elderly crime boss began serving his life sentence inside a federal penitentiary. The capture and conviction ended a 2-decade manhunt that spanned the entire Western Hemisphere. Here is the story of Whitey Bulger. Born September 1929, James Joseph Bulger, known as Whitey, ran the Winter Hill Gang in Boston. His crew controlled the lucrative drug pipeline between Montreal, Boston, and New York City. In his prime, Bulger paid 250 so-called associates. Over the years, the kingpin evaded local police primarily by cooperating with the FBI. In exchange for information about the Italian mob in New England, the Justice Department spiked investigations into Bulger's drug activity. However, that agreement did not include murder. On Christmas Eve, 1994, an arrest warrant was issued for Bulger related to 4 homicides. Bulger fled Boston. It took the FBI 16 years to find him. An anonymous tip from Iceland led to a tiny apartment complex in Santa Monica, California. In June 2011, Whitey Bulger was taken into custody. He began serving his life sentence on November 14, 2013, at the age of 84. His stay in prison was not pleasant. In 2018, the nearly 90-year-old crime boss was found dead inside a cell. He had been beaten to death by inmates armed with padlocks, his eyes gouged, his tongue cut out. The FBI believed the hit was retribution from the Boston Mafia. Members of the Italian mob were in the same prison that Bulger was. 4 people have been charged with the murder. Their trial begins next year. And here's something else you might not know. Despite being an informant, the FBI ultimately added Whitey to the most wanted list. There was only one other man above him, Bin Laden. Back after this. If you or your business is falling behind filing your tax returns, or if you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The Biden administration just unveiled an $80 billion plan to modernize the IRS and reduce the unpaid tax debt. Are you tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments? You do not have to face the IRS alone. Hire Anthem Tax Services. They can help you settle your delinquent tax problems and all collections, and may even be able to reduce your back taxes significantly. If Anthem Tax Service cannot reduce your current monthly payment with the IRS or state, or they don't put you in a better position, you might qualify for the 100% money back guarantee. Please call Anthem Tax Services 800-810-9193, 800-810-9193, 800-810-9193. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.